Let's get right to it, guys. Let's bring out Mr. Mike Judge. Thank you. So, I find it fascinating that this movie was it was buried when it came out, right? Like, it basically came and went in the night. I mean, it was just like there was no promotion or anything. What happened there?
Oh boy. Yeah, I was, well, I had completely, my work as the filmmaker or whatever had been done. I mean, the last time I'd seen this before, a little bit of it tonight, was the color timing, I think. Blocked picture, final mixed it, and then I didn't hear from anybody for a year. And it went to, I don't even know how many theaters, like 12 or something. It was very weird. But I get asked that a lot, and there's conspiracy theories about it, but from my end, it was a guy from marketing saying, we're just going to put it in a few theaters, and there's not going to be a trailer. And actually, if you wanted to find it, so the title on all the contracts was Untitled Mike Judge Project, and somebody just put that through, and to find it, on Movie Phone, it was Untitled Mike Judge Project. They didn't even bother to put the title in when it was released.
Did Mr. Movie Phone say it like that?
It was actually, and it was actually listed in with the letters on some marquees, I heard, as Untitled Mike Judge Project. It was sad.
When did you start to get the sense that it had been reborn? Like, when did you start to catch on that people were coming to it and finding it again?
It's been a slow building thing over the years. I don't know, there were, Oddwell, of course, with the Trump thing, then it's just like Twitter all day long, like idiocracy. There's been little things, I don't know, there's something about a coffee place somewhere in Europe that was giving hand jobs. Very specific things.
Then Carl's Jr. is sponsoring everything. We literally almost had a Secretary of Labor who was the CEO of Carl's Jr.
I know, I either got lucky or I'm some kind of Nostradamus or something. I don't know. Yeah, it was specifically Carl's Jr. too. It wasn't just,
No, it was actually Carl's Jr. It's so, that's just, Do you feel like you created like a self-fulfilling prophecy in any way?
I mean, the first thing that I noticed very early on, before anybody, even back around the disastrous release, was our wardrobe person, Crocs, nobody had ever heard of them. And she shows me these things, and I want to say it was like some company in Denver is making these plastic shoes with these holes, and I said, okay, those look pretty stupid. And I said, the only problem is this is a startup, right? What if these things are everywhere in the country by the time the movie comes out? She said, oh no, that's never going to happen. This is this little company, and don't worry about it. And from when we shot to when it came out, which was about 2 years, everyone was wearing Crocs. So things were already headed downhill.
Well, I mean, this came out, so how you managed to predict, you mentioned the Trump thing, the fact that we literally do have a WWE Hall of Famer in office right now. I remember reading last year that you guys were considering putting out some political ads with Terry Crews reprising President Camacho. But how do you spoof that at this point?
I think that's why we didn't. It's just sort of like, it was all so crazy that you can't really spoof it. Yeah, I mean, originally when I wrote the treatment for the movie in 2001, and then me and a guy, Eitan Cohen, wrote the first draft of the script. I think it was in 2002, and then I went back, I put it on the shelf, went and rewrote it, but I was just sort of thinking of, I mean, I drew inspiration from a lot of horrible places, I guess, but I imagine my junior high, like if my junior high was running the world. And we had a guy who was actually a very, very charismatic guy. He was a friend of my brother's. It was the student body election for student body president. And this guy, well, I'll just go ahead and say his name, Louis Nogales, because he was a friend of mine. Or my brother's, he ran. There was all the students coming out doing their usual, I'm going to give the students a voice or whatever. He came out with 3 dudes on either side of him, and he basically quoted Hitler. He came out and said, "Today Jefferson Junior High, tomorrow the world is it." And he won by a landslide. I actually voted for him. And so I was kind of thinking, like, if my junior high ran the world, but then also just kind of like taking everything to its natural conclusion, and then things started to go to their natural conclusion in the real world. So,
Yeah, I mean, I find it fascinating too that you didn't intend originally for this to be a political movie. Like, this is more about a social thing. Like, originally you didn't have a government, right?
yeah, actually, the first draft that I wrote with Eitan did not have a president. It was a very different. Yeah, I can't even remember, but it didn't have a president. It was sort of an automated thing that was running the country, and then I don't know. That's for movies. It's good to have people. So, so then I went back and rewrote it and added the Camacho character and just started to have fun with it. And it was originally actually I was originally imagining a different actor, and then Terry Crews came in and read for it and just kind of stole the part. He was so funny, he had these giant muscles, and Terry Crews himself is like a really smart, really, like, to play dumb, you have to kind of get the joke, I've noticed. Like, it's hard to, you can't do it without really, it's very rare that you get, although in this movie we had some people who maybe just dumb and didn't get the joke, but maybe some people with a couple lines here or there, but yeah, no, Terry just sort of, I sort of reconceived it for him, and then added this, this pro wrestler porn star thing to it. And here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
10 years later.